mystery, history, dark creatures, and paranormal events. This is the Creeps and Crawls Mystery Hour podcast, and I'm your host, Creeps. Hello, and welcome to the pilot episode, our very first episode, meant to show you how this podcast is going to run. I'm going to ask that no one comments anything negative in the comments section, because I'm asking everyone to keep an open mind now. And with that being said, our episode today will be covering the history and mysterious surroundings of the cryptid creature called the Michigan Dogman. The Michigan Dogman, in folklore, was allegedly witnessed for the first time in 1887. The creature is described as a 7-foot-tall, blue-eyed and or amber-eyed canine-like animal standing on 2 legs with the torso of a man and the horrible howl that sounded like a human scream. And according to legend, the Michigan Dogman appears every 10 years, typically on years ending in 7. Sightings have been reported throughout the Michigan and several other areas, but mostly in the northwestern quadrant of the Lower Peninsula. This cryptid was largely unknown to most of the world until the end of the 20th century, and it is said that the creature has been stalking the area around the Manistee River since the Ottawa tribes lived and roamed there. Many sources for sightings made prior to 1987 have not been documented, except for Steve Cook's song, which we are going to talk about. The first known encounter of the Michigan Dogman occurred in Wexford County when 2 lumberjacks saw a dog-headed creature with the body of a man. Then, later in Paris, Michigan in 1937, Robert Fortney was attacked by 5 wild dogs, but claimed on one of the 5 walked 2 legs. Many reports of creatures by the same description in the 1950s came out of Allegan County, and also Manistee and Cross Village in 1967. In her book, The Beast of Bray Road, Linda S. Godfrey compares the Manistee sightings to a similar creature sighted in Wisconsin, known as the Beast of Bray Road, which we'll be covering in the 2nd season. In 1987, an artist, Steve Cook of Michigan, recorded a song entitled The Legend, an April Fool's Day joke, which he based on myths and legends from around North America. He had never heard of an actual Michigan Dogman at the time of the recording, and he is quoted saying, "I made it up completely from my own imagination as an April Fool's prank for the radio, and stumbled my way to a legend that goes back all the way to Native American times." And Cook holds on to his skepticism about the possibility of a real Dogman. He had this to say about the matter, quote, "I am tremendously skeptical because I've sort of seen the way folklore becomes built from the creation of the song to what it's turned into. But I do believe people who think they saw something really did see something. I also think the Dogman provides them with an avenue to explain what they couldn't explain for themselves." Cook received calls after he played the song from listeners who said they had encountered similar creatures, and in the weeks after the song first played, it became the most requested song on the station. He also eventually sold cassettes of the song for $4, and donating any earnings from the song to an animal shelter. In 2010, the creature was covered in an episode of Monster Quest, where it became even more popular, and actually what drove me to make this episode myself, where they cover witnesses, what it is, and where the legends may have come from. Then, in January of 2017, the Dogman was featured in an episode of Season 2 entitled Great Lakes, Wolfman, Dogman, Wendigo, of Monsters and Mysteries, and in many other places in the media. Now, to close out this saying, this was the pilot episode and was originally supposed to be paired with the Loch Ness Monster, but the Loch Ness Monster had much more info, and this one didn't have enough to warrant a full episode, sadly. I wish I knew more on this cryptid creature, because he does truly interest me, but I figured this was a great way to kick off my new podcast, and I hope you all enjoyed our very first episode. The ones to proceed will be longer, minus our episode on skinwalkers, which I will explain in that recording. But for now, I'm closing off, and I just want to say, stay creepy, my friends, and creepy creature lovers. This is Creeps, signing off.